transitory lands of the Lords of Cinder converge. In venturing north, the pilgrims discover the truth of the old words. The fire fades, and the lords go without thrones. When the link of fire is threatened, the bell tolls, unearthing the old lords of Cinder from their graves. Aldrich, saint of the deep, Farron's undead legion, the Abyss Watchers. And the reclusive lord of the profaned capital. Yon the Giant. Only in truth, the lords will abandon their thrones. And the unkindled will rise. Nameless, accursed undead, unfit even to be cinder. And so it is that ash seeketh embers.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. My name is Trago, and welcome to my Dark Souls 3 Platinum Trophy Guide. I just started out a new character. This one is going to be a female pyromancer. Eventually, I'm going to start out as knight, however, since, let's be real, this is the best class, and you can basically make any build out of it. I'm going to name her Hurrah in little homage to Demon Souls. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and finalize creation. Now, the reason why I wanted to go Pyromancer for this, I just wanted to make sure that I'll be able to show off and obtain most of the spells, miracles, and pyromancies that will be available, and I'll be able to do so fairly easily with 25 intelligence, 25 faith, which is what I'm planning on doing for this walkthrough. For Dark Souls 3, for all of you guys who are just picking it up, I recommend starting out as Knight class, simply because it has the best combination of stats, armor, weapon, and shield. Really makes the game quite a bit easier in the beginning as compared to any other class. I actually like the starting weapon for the knight, the longsword, quite a bit. You can, if you'd like, you can carry it through the whole game and make it your main weapon. Just a good combination of attack styles, damage per second, and it scales good with just about anything. So for this beginning area, there's really not a whole lot to do. Just gonna pick up some of the items that are kind of scattered throughout the world. The main thing is getting past the first boss and also killing one of those giant crystal lizards that will drop Titanite Scales for us. Titanite Scales I use to upgrade boss grade weapons. Over here you see Remains of the Night, and I'm going to just go ahead and pick up the Ashen Estus Flask. In this game, you can distribute your Estus Flask between the regular Estus Flask, which will heal HP, and the blue Ashen Estus Flask, which will heal your focus points. Focus points are responsible for weapon arts and magic. And these undead hollows here in the beginning are really shouldn't be any match for you. However, there is a first real test that you will see in the game, and that's this giant crystal lizard. It's actually fairly easy to kill, even though it does have a lot of HP. What you want to do is you want to bait its head slam attack, which I was not able to do right here. And once you do that, you'll be able to take a few swings at it. And again, it's not necessary to kill it here. You can always come back to the spot. Occasionally it will do this kind of spin and tail attack, which you can simply dodge by rolling through it. And here we go. So we picked up a Titanite Scale right here. You'll also be able to pick up Soul of Unknown Traveler. And killing this crystal lizard will net you 3,000 souls. Now we've cleared out this beginning part of the area, and we're just going to go ahead and light the very first bonfire. Make sure you rest by this bonfire. You will obtain the rest gesture. For this game, you will need to obtain every single gesture in the game. There are 33 of them total. And I'm going to do my best to show you guys how to get all of those together. Hopefully I'll be able to get them all in one playthrough. I might need to pick up one or two of them in New Game Plus, however. And over here, make sure you check out this area because you will obtain fire bombs. Fire bombs are actually pretty helpful against the first boss in this area, so I highly do recommend picking them up. They might come in handy because the second stage of the boss, he becomes very vulnerable to fire. And over here, there's a jump. If you nail a jump and land on top of this little coffin or wagon, you will pick up a Titanite Shard. You will need to upgrade your weapon to +1. Alright, and now that we've cleared out this area, I'm going to go ahead and fight the first boss. This is going to be Iudex Gundyr. And for those of you who are not aware, Iudex means judge. And you can actually start attacking him as soon as you pick up the sword out of his chest. And once you take his health down to about half, he will teleport. Well, not teleport, he will transform, I should say. And once he transforms, he will do slightly more damage and his attacks will be a little bit more unpredictable. So I highly suggest just staying close to him and trying to do as much damage as quickly as possible. If you see him get up, you can go ahead and just try to move out of the way, roll out of the way, and regain your stamina. I'm going to go ahead and light the bonfire right here. As you can see, we are now in the Ember form, which means this is basically akin to humanity from previous Souls games. So now you will be able to get summoned and get invaded, unless of course you die, in which case you will need to consume an Ember to go back to the Ember form. And over here we pick up Broken Straight Sword. As you can imagine, it's nothing to brag about. And some more Undead Hollows right here. There are a couple of items to pick up on the outskirts of this area. So some Homeward Bones, a couple of Embers. There will also be a pathway leading up to the tower, guarded by a warrior with a katana. Let's just call him Samurai Jack for now. He is kind of tough, so I would recommend taking him a little bit later in the game, and that's what we are going to do. For now, I'm just going to pick up some of the other stuff that's scattered throughout. And there's that warrior that I was referring to. He's actually pretty tough early on, so I'm just going to go ahead and deal with him a little bit later. Make sure we pick up the Amber over here. Just going to go ahead and check out that I make sure not to miss any other items. And here we get some rabid dogs. And what kind of Souls game would it be if we didn't have any rabid dogs early on in the game? I mean, we did have them in Demon Souls, Dark Souls 2, and Bloodborne. And I think I'm missing a Homeward Bone. That's located up at the upper part of the shrine right here, so I'm just going to go ahead and check this area real quick. Oh, yep, here it is. So another Homeward Bone. And I think I've picked up just about everything there is to get. Did miss on killing one more guy. And I don't think there is anything by him if I remember correctly. Usually you can just backstab him right off the cliff. Cool visual, if anything. So here I'm going to go ahead and enter Firelink Shrine. This is going to be your main hub, kind of like Nexus and Demon Souls, original Firelink Shrine and Dark Souls, and Majula, Dark Souls 2, and the Hunter Stream and Bloodborne. Okay, and here, if you circle this middle area, you'll get an option to embed the coiled sword. Go ahead and do that. This will create your main bonfire. You'll be coming back here quite a bit. Okay, so now I'm just going to go ahead and speak to the Firekeeper here.
I'm a firekeeper. I tend to the flame and tend to thee. The lords have left their throne to this end.
And she will go ahead and deliver us some exposition. Give you an option to level up. I will just go ahead and check out some of the other people in the shrine at the moment. We have the Shrine Handmaiden. She's the main merchant. Important NPC. Make sure you don't kill any of the NPCs until you've 100% sure that you've completed their tasks. So I'm going to go ahead and purchase the White Cyan Soapstone so I can participate in co-op. Right now her stock doesn't amount to much. You can go ahead and purchase these couple of spells and a miracle from her. You will need to obtain them for the trophies, obviously. For now I'm just going to go ahead and talk to Andre, the blacksmith. You will be forging and infusing weapons with him, as well as reinforcing Estus Flask and lighting Estus. So I'm just going to go ahead and go with 4 Estus Flasks here. And if you talk to him, make sure to exhaust his dialogue and you will actually get his gesture. So this will be the second gesture in the game, and we will actually receive one more here shortly. Go ahead and talk to this knight. He's kind of your typical crest-fallen warrior type.
Ah, well, you're not alone. We unkindled the Ghostly connection, and it'd have us seek the Lords of Cinder, but we're talking...
He will deliver some more exposition, and you will get a collapse gesture from him.
Don't you think? What else? Ask you to talk. What else? Ask you to...
Okay, so I think that's it for available NPCs at the moment. There's also one of the Lords of Cinder, Ludlev, I think his name is, who is available. So go ahead and talk to him. Right now he won't really offer you much, but he will offer you spells and weapons and rings made from boss souls. So again, another important NPC. Remember his location, and we'll be coming back to him in future episodes of the playthrough. He's just not going to do much in the beginning. Now over here, there's another entrance to the outside of the shrine. Take a note of this tree. This is where you can pick up a seed of Tree of Giants, which will turn enemies in a world hostile to invaders. Pretty good way to troll some invaders. You do need to be invaded in order to pick up a seed though, so you need to have at least one invasion happen in your world. Alright, so we're just about ready to proceed. I'm going to go ahead and level up a little bit with the Firekeeper.
Very well, then take...
So for now, I'm just gonna go ahead and put some points in Vigor and Endurance.
Farewell, Ashen maiden.
Okay, now once you rest by the bonfire, you'll notice that you can burn undead bone shards. Those you'll be able to find throughout the game world, and there will be a total of 10 of them. Basically what they will do, they will make your Estus Flask stronger, so you will be able to replenish more health with Estus Flask usage. Now we're going to go ahead and travel to the High Wall of Lothric. And this is the first major area in the world. And as soon as you arrive here, you will notice how dense exactly the area is. This game might be smaller than Dark Souls 2 and maybe even smaller than Bloodborne if you include Chalice Dungeons. However, the amount of content that the designers have put in the game is just mind-blowing. I think they did a fine job with the amount of quests, the look of the environments. Definitely kind of brings you back to Demon Souls quite a bit. I see there are a lot of references in here to demons, which I love. I love Demon Souls. Still has a special place in my heart as it is the first Souls game that I've played. So there are a lot of references to that. Also a lot of reference to Dark Souls and a little bit to Dark Souls 2. There are some enemies and level designs that will make you think of Bloodborne. Okay, and over here, I just want to pick up one of the items. Basically, there is a longbow that's located a little bit further in this area. So we're just going to go ahead and take out some of these enemies. Watch out for this X guy. Make sure you don't get hit by him. He does deal quite a bit of damage. And he will break your guard in a couple of hits. So if you just stand there guarding the shield, it's not going to help you for long. When you run up these stairs, make sure you take out this guy quickly. Otherwise, he will transform into one of these Abyss monsters, which you saw Iudex Gundyr transform during the boss fight. So it just looks like this black serpent made of goo type enemy. I'm not exactly sure of their official name. I'm actually buying the strategy guide in a couple of days here just so I can kind of follow along with all the enemy type and enemy names. That's the main thing. I just want to make sure I don't mess them up too much. So, okay, now that we've picked up the longbow, we're basically done with this section for now. We will be coming back here later. Take a note of this locked door. There will be an elevator behind it, which will lead to a boss fight. And pick up another soul consumable here. Now we're going to go ahead and take the staircase back up to the bonfire area. And there's a little bit of a congregation going on here, so just want to go ahead and clear some of these enemies out. You always want to prioritize the guy with the lamp because he will aggro the bunch of these hollows and they will come attack you in swarm. Okay, we've basically cleared out the area here. As you can see, I'm just running a train on these guys with a regular longsword. Kills them in a couple of hits, and it does ridiculously good damage. So here's another one of these guys with the lamp. Usually you just want to kill them before they wake up the rest of the party here. Okay, and that will basically killed off most of these guys here. Pick up binoculars, staple of all the Souls games. And over here, there's also a little ledge that you can jump off. And this will net you a gold pine resin, so I do recommend picking it up. Adds a lightning damage to your weapon, and it's useful against some of the enemies and bosses. And also pick up some fire bombs. Fire bombs will come in handy in a little bit here. I will show you an area where to use them. You can actually kill one of these Abyss Monsters for a Titanite Shard and an Ember. And over here, I know some of you guys might have been expecting it already, but there's an area with a dragon. And since this is a Souls game, there's an area with a dragon early on. And I ran over there a little too early, so I aggroed this guy with the axe, so I'm going to go ahead and kill him. Usually the dragon will take care of this for you and just incinerate this dude, so you won't have to worry about him. And he'll also incinerate a bunch of guys in the walkway here. Now, you can just run past them, and this is what we're going to do because I do want to pick up a bunch of these items here. You can just roll through the fire, making it a little bit easier. And we're going to go ahead and make a couple of runs to pick up the rest of these items, just because you do get a Claymore from one of these drops, and I know most of you guys remember Claymore from other Souls games, and it's pretty decent here. It still has a great moveset, although in general I would say great swords do give up some grounds to your regular longsword type weapons, so do keep in mind that it's just not quite as potent as longswords, because the amount of damage it does is really not going to be much higher, and it is going to weigh more and do a little bit less damage per second. Okay, so we've picked up, I believe, basically all the stuff that we needed. There's another item here. The dragon's turned into barbecue. Might have to come back just to kill him off later. Now, I want to run back into that room just because there's going to be a mimic chest there. So I think I just gotta duck back so the dragon does not see me. Okay, I think I'm safe here. Maybe not, but... Alright, made it. Fuck yeah. Alright, so, and here you get the first mimic of the game. So, surprisingly, you see one a lot earlier than you usually would. He does have a pretty sweet weapon. It's a deep battle axe. Battle axe that does dark damage. it's split damage weapon, so it's not gonna be as good for you later on in the game. But early on, it does pretty considerable damage, and you can actually use it for most of the early game levels as long as you level it up with some Titanite Shards and large Titanite Shards later. Okay. And you will need to get some damage in on this Mimic, because he does take a lot of punishment. So just try to stay behind him. He does have some kick and grab attacks. The grab attack will more than likely kill you, so just be careful and watch out for that. Don't open the chest either, since it is a Mimic, he will eat you. And we can open a shortcut here. Make sure to deal with the two undead hollow soldiers that are kind of scattered on the ground. And over here you will meet your first Lothric Knight. These enemies are pretty tough. They have a shield bash attack, which they will use to prevent you from getting in those early backstab, and you just saw him demonstrate one here. And I'm just luckily I leveled up some endurance, because otherwise he would probably murk me here. And there he goes. Yeah, if you try to just circle around him and try to backstab him, he will actually just shield bash you, and those shield bash attacks break your guard fairly easily. So the best tactic to use is parrying. Otherwise, just try to time your attacks correctly, and you shouldn't have too many problems with them. Okay. Almost forgot there's a guy right here. Just go ahead and pick up some more fire bombs in the ledge here. And I guess I can deal with this guy. Okay. So let's see how many Titanite Shards I got. I still only have one Titanite Shards, but we can correct that shortly here. Just gonna go ahead and light this bonfire. And there I go. Pick up another Titanite Shard. Plenty of summon signs around. Just gonna go ahead and upgrade my longsword to +1. And you can also level up a little bit too, might raise my endurance by a bit as well.
Just what needs.
Alright, so I could level up the Deep Battle Axe. It will give me some, a little bit higher damage output, but I actually love the moveset for the longsword. So I'm just going to go ahead and reinforce that instead. And I don't have anything to reinforce the Estus Flask with, unfortunately, so I'm just going to go ahead and sink one more level in with the Firekeeper.
Welcome. Very well, then take.
Okay, here we go. Level 16.
Farewell, Ashen One.
I'm going to go ahead and travel back here. I do want to, before I finish out this episode, I want to pick up another Estus Flask Shard and free up one of the NPCs. Alright, so now that we've teleported back here, we're a little bit stronger. I got one more point in endurance, and my longsword will do a little bit more damage. Ah, hate getting hit by these guys. Such a waste of health. Okay, we got another guy with an axe here. Just make sure you block or dodge his attack and get behind him, backstab him. Quickest way to kill him. Okay, just run past the section. All those barrels are flammable. This guy over here is chucking fire bombs, so you can put two and two together to realize that if he does hit you or hit one of these barrels with a firebomb when you're right next to them, then you will be toast. So make sure to just run straight at him and do run and attack to stun him. That should take care of him, no problem. And we'll be coming back to this area a little bit later on. There is an NPC that's shelled right here, and we are going to free him here shortly. I'm just going to go ahead and make my way back up to this area and up the ladder. We're going to go ahead and go to the area where the key to his cell is located. And this NPC is Greirat. He is a merchant and also a thief. So you can send him out on thieving missions where he will expand his inventory. Okay, and I'm going to make sure to equip my fire bombs here. I do have a few available. But yeah, this is what you want to use in this area. One of these undead will teleport into an abyss monster. So I'm just going to let him do his thing, and in the meantime I'm going to kill this crystal lizard here. He will drop a raw gem that you will be able to infuse your weapon with for even more damage. And as you can see, this monster here does quite a bit of damage, so you got to be careful to avoid his attacks. Also does quite a bit of and there he goes. Alright, that took quite a bit of effort, unfortunately, so I'm kind of short on some Estus Flask, but I did pick up a Titanite Shard. So if I'd want to, I could go back and use that Titanite Shard to upgrade my weapon a little bit, and I can actually infuse it with the raw gem. This will give me slightly more damage. Get some black fire bombs. I recommend saving one of these just because you will be able to trade it for a Titanite chunk with a Crow Merchant. Okay, and here we get some fire bombs. Fire bombs for everybody. Okay, in this area, another one of these guys that will tip off an enemy. And these Undead Hunter Charms, what they do basically function the same way Lloyd Talismans worked in previous Souls games. They will prevent the host from using Estus during the invasion. And another Titanite Shard. Alright, so one more of these Lothric Knights. Just gonna go ahead and heal real quick. This will be a battle. I always have problems in the beginning with these. They have this Great Shield Bash, and I can never seem to predict when they're gonna do the Shield Bash or when they're just gonna stand there and turtle. So I can't really use Kick against them. And there he left himself open. And I'm just gonna go ahead and finish him off right here. Picked up Solo Deserted Corpse. Guy here sitting in an ambush. And over here we'll pick up a broadsword. Now notice there's a pathway here. I'm going to clean out the lower area and then we're going to come back here and pick up a couple more items. First also, there are a couple of undead hollow soldiers that are sitting over here. I'm going to go ahead and take them out real quick and then I can open the chest. And Silver Eagle Kite Shield. Again, this is a good pickup unless you started with a Knight, because with a Knight you get 100% physical defense weapon right off the bat. You don't really get that with other classes, so this is, I believe, the first 100% physical defense shield that you would otherwise pick up. Okay, so we took out a couple of enemies in this beginning area, so I just want to go ahead and clear out everybody else. Okay, I was trying to get behind him here, but failed miserably to get a backstab. But no big deal. The R2 for the sword works pretty well against these undead dogs. And here we pick up a cell key. This is what unlocks the NPC. And make sure you pick up the Estus Flask Shard located on an anvil here. Levels up your Estus, so you get another additional Estus Flask Shard. Now we can go ahead and revisit the area where we were earlier. And this is the little hidden area that I was talking about. You get a green blossom over here, and if you drop down, you can pick up a Store Straight Sword. Very good straight sword. It does require 12 faith to wield, but it works extremely well. Got a great moveset, so it's a good early game weapon. It might not scale as well as some of the other ones, but it does do fairly good damage early on, just a little bit more damage than the longsword. So you can go ahead and pick it up. You can infuse it as well. So, and over here, we're almost done. I'm just going to go ahead and backtrack to the area where the prisoner was. I'm going to go ahead and rescue him. 3 shards, 1 shard away from leveling up my weapon to +2. So I'm just going to go ahead and make a beeline to his cell.
No, you're from far. You must be so remarkable.
And he will ask you a favor right away.
An old woman.
Not skipping a beat here. Just saved your ass, and you got an audacity to ask for another favor. Well, very well then.
Very well.
He will give you a blue Tearstone ring to give to Loretta. Spoiler, Loretta is dead. So you might as well just go ahead and equip that blue Tearstone ring now. Since chances are you probably don't have a better weapon to use, a better ring to use. And you will find out Loretta's fate a little bit later here, so I'm not going to fill you guys in on more than that, but yeah, Loretta's a goner, so that much is certain. Okay, and right now I'm just making my way back up to the bonfire. Not gonna worry too much about all these other enemies. Just gonna go ahead and travel back to the Firelink Shrine. Now, I know some of you probably picked the Fire Gem. I picked the rusted gold coins. The reason why I don't like the Fire Gem is because there are some exploding barrels, and if you accidentally hit them with a fire attack, then it will explode and take out a chunk of your health and will likely kill you as well. So that's why I just like having a normal damage weapon in this area. I'm going to go ahead and reinforce the Estus Flask with one of the Estus Shards that we picked up. So this is going to give me 5 Estus Flasks total. And I'm going to infuse my longsword via raw path. As you can tell, this will give me slightly more damage. It does remove the scaling, unfortunately, but I don't really need it at the moment. I just need that extra boost in damage. The reason why I don't need the scaling is obviously because I haven't leveled up my attack stats, which in this case would be strength and dexterity. So I'm just going to go ahead and make a raw longsword +1.
Be careful.
How?
And as you can see, she's got some embers here. So if you're running low on those and you're trying to get some for co-op and whatnot, you can always come back to her.
Oh, and just...
And this guy sells a number of items too. He sells some embers, and also take a note that he sells firebomb and rope firebomb. I'm just going to go ahead and buy one of those that I will be able to exchange with a merchant later on. And some of those blood red moss clumps will help us out a little bit later, but I'm going to hold off on buying those for now.
Goodbye. Oh, this place is a...
Okay, and now there's going to be another NPC that has appeared, and that's Leonard. Leonard is kind of the dark wraith in this game, so you can talk to him. He will give you some orbs that you can choose to invade other players with.
Use them to pillage embers and briefly hype what else are unkindled at.
So good for him. You actually don't need to invade anybody to progress for his quest. You just need to kill a couple of bosses, and his quest line will automatically advance. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pause here. In the next episode, we are gonna go ahead and finish out the High Wall of Lothric. and proceed to the next area. For now, I just want to say thank you guys for watching. It's good to be back. You can expect me to finish off this Dark Souls 3 Platinum Trophy Guide, and in addition to that, I'll be making some more helpful videos discussing builds, weapon infusions, and so on and so forth. So thank you very much for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.